Short course trucks are getting hotter and hotter every day, and more keep coming out. Now, the hottest segment right now are the four-wheel drive short course trucks. And one of the hottest trucks in that segment is this here, the team associated SC10 4x4. Now, this is my truck, and this is the one I'm reviewing for the magazine. You'll see it in a future issue of RC Car Action. It comes as a kit, so you pretty much have to assemble everything you see here. They recently just introduced it as a ready-to-run truck, so we're going to have that pretty soon too. Now, one of the things about this truck is I plan on racing it, and they do include rubber for the rims, but I decided to switch it up to some J-Concepts Goosebump tires because that's what works best at my local track. So I glued those up to the KMC style wheels here, and I'm ready to go. Now, I already had this truck out quick on a track up at RC Madness for the Short Course Nationals, and a couple things I found out about this truck right away is that it does have a lot of steering. I was very happy with the steering on the truck, but the rear end seemed to be a little bit loose in the turns. But everywhere else around the track felt really good. It was very stable over the bumps, and it did well on the jumps. The only other thing I noticed is I have a ton of power in this thing, and down the straightaway, it seemed to come up onto the tires and be a little sketchy down the straightaway, so it was a little bit of a handful. I think if I tone it down a little bit and maybe lower the ride height a little, it should be much better. So I made some minor tweaks to it, and now I'm down here at Pin Shop Hobbies where I plan on racing the truck, so I'm going to make some changes, take it out on the track and see how it is, and get ready for my next local club race. Some of the changes I've already made to the truck before I go out again were to take off these the protectors here for the shock shafts. They have some bladders here that cover up the shock shaft, keep debris and dirt away from them. I feel like they might actually bind up the suspension because as you compress the shock, it seemed like they were keeping it from compressing all the way. So I took those off. And another thing I did to the shocks was I'm running bladders in these shocks here. So I removed the bleeder screws from the shock caps, which allows air to flow in and out of the shock shaft and prevent pack on the shocks. Another thing I did was to help with that rear end traction is I moved the rear hub a little bit forward, and what that'll do is get some more weight over the rear tires and maybe stabilize it a little bit. It might work, it might not work, I'm not sure yet, and that's the whole idea of testing. You want to go and make a change, see if it does anything. If it doesn't, put it back to the way it was. If you go ahead and make a ton of changes and you get it all out of whack, you don't have to worry about it because all you have to do is just reset everything to the stock factory settings and then go from there again.